Right then, welcome back to my second walkthrough of The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe. Now, if you remember, I have done my first recording of Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, and I've done a fair load of levels, apart from one that had to be redone, because as I said before, that on the first level I fucked up and basically did a bit of too much talking and bits and pieces without my head talking at the same time of exactly remind myself what to do in the first level, which was a bit stupid, but we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. As you did see that we were up to 18%. 18%. As well as we're back in the wardrobe. As it would have said, to the western wood. If that is what the W-E-S-T-E-N or E-R-N wood is spelled to be. So, don't forget, what I have done is the air raid 2 times because I missed 2 shields, as well as I have said that you'll have to do the second level, which would be the G-L-I-M-P-S-E, as well as of Narnia, as well as basically remind you that you have to find shields, as well as you can see at the bottom of the left of the screen there are some coins, which is up to 1,100 coins so far in the game that we have picked up, as well as another level that we've done, which is the air and space room, or spare room, shall we say, if that's what S-P-A-R-E-M is spelled to be. There we go. Oh dear. But then again, I'm never very good at reading most of the time, but there we go. As well as the last one of the level I did do, which was L-A-N-T-E-R-N, as well as with the W-A-S-T-E, well, it's supposed to be exactly, as well as with the last level I did, we've only got 14 shields. And what we're going to do is do this level again, and the reason why is because on the last recording I did say that you would have to do some couple of times going back and forwards places to find some shields that you might have missed out. So that is what we're going to do first. But before we do, now what we'll do is going to go back to this bottom drawer. Now, so once again, once you've gone past a couple of levels, you will be available to unlock some bits and pieces for you to check out in the bottom drawer. And we've got Peter movie, Susan movie, Eben movie, and Lucy movie. Now, each one of these 4 are the actors, which will be for Peter will be William, Susan will be Anne somebody. I'll try to think who the actor for Edmund is, but I can't remember from the top of my head. As well as, if you know who the actor is, you can put a comment on there if you want. And also the last one will be Lucy, which is Georgie Henley. Now with the ones that's got the ones for me to select, I'm going to skip those for now, because I've got to do a bit of the level, so get some more bits and pieces that has to be collected. And the other reason why I've decided to go back into this level is to remind you what is in this level for you to do, as well as a couple of other bits and pieces that you might have missed out or whatever. So, if you haven't seen the film before, that's okay, but if you have seen it, you know exactly what goes on and everything else, as well as if you played the game, you know what all the cutscenes are and some other bits and pieces in the game. That's brilliant. But this is what happened on my last recording of the end of the other level I've just done.
I'm sure it's just your imagination.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go back.
It's your imagination.
Shouldn't we at least take a look around?
I think Lucy should decide.
I'd like you all to meet Mr. Thomas.
But we can't go hiking in the snow, dressed like this.
No. But I'm sure the professor wouldn't mind us using these. We're not even taking them out of the wardrobe.
But that's a girl's coat.
I know.
Pierre always knows everything, doesn't he? Okay, so once again, the reason why I've done this, the reason why I'm doing this level again is to remind you what happens in the level, as well as the last scene clip of the video game, as well as the bits of the cutscenes of the movie as well at the same time, just to remind you what happened last time. And so, with this level, you would have to find 21 shields, and we've only got 14 of those so far. So that's the other reason why I've done a decision to show you what happens in this level. Because as I said before, that you're going to have to do some back travelling forwards and places to find where the shields are, which is part of the game itself. Right, so what you want to do is break the frozen sticks with the circle button, and every time when you're finding a stick, Peter will find one first before Edmund does. Right, the way to switch characters, push the R1 button, but we're going to ignore that for now. And also the other things that's been done in this level that you've seen before or haven't seen it, what I'm going to do is skip a couple of bits and pieces that has been done for you to know exactly what you're supposed to do. Right, also when you smash the first stick barrel that was standing over it, Edmund will have a stick now. And also what you want to do is stand by it and press the X button and keep the L3 up for Edmund to get his stick lit. And then don't forget, as I said before on my last recording, that you can get all these characters to team up. As well as on my second level that I did do on my first walkthrough, what you can do is get Susan or Edmund. Well, shall we say, on my second level of my first recording, what I did do is use Edmund and Lucy to team up, as well as show you that you would have to do that to break this bit of ice and whatever that kind of thing you can smash. So you have to do exactly the same thing in this level. Or you could use Susan and Edmund. There, use Lucy and Susan to team up and do that bit as well. So I'll show you. Susan and Lucy will do that. So it doesn't matter whoever you use, they'll do that. If you don't want them to link up together, just push the triangle. Right, what you want to do is get Edmund's stick or Peter's stick to be lit and burn a bit of dry sticks of wood. And what you want to do is push the triangle when you're staying by Edmund and Peter, or Edmund and Susan, whoever you want to use. And then press the square and stand about it with L3 in the right place. As well as, don't forget, I have got 15 wolves in this level, in this part of the level that you have to do. And also with the sticks of wood that Peter and Edmund will have, keep pressing the square for him to swing that around all over the place. Even what you can do is get Lucy and get her to nudge the wolves over or make them trip over, however Lucy does it. And also basically what you're making Lucy do is make herself walk sideways, or some sort of way of moving sideways to nudge the walls over when you're standing quite close to them. Right, so this is the bit I was on about with the shields, that you'll miss some and you're going to have to redo the levels again to collect some. And this is the bit that I'm going to explain to you again. Right, so what you're going to have to do is remember which bits of the things that you'll break, because what they'll hide is the shields. So you have to remember all of these, whichever ones you smashed, which ones you haven't. Also what I'm going to do is try and stay on the left side. So always remember which side that you have done. Also there's a couple on the left side, and I was going to try and get that one right in that corner. That's what I was aiming at. So I must have got one of those. So yeah, that one on the right.
Is everybody okay?
Alright, so let's let those people do that bit.
Edmund, Lucy, one of you will have to find a safe path across the ice. Susan and I are too heavy. Hurry!
Right, so further ado. So the one that was right in that very corner that I was trying to get to, that one can be a bit tricky to get hold of. Right, so I'm pretty sure I just got one of those shields. So like I say, you got to remember which ones you smash, which ones you haven't smashed. And so we are up to 16 shields. So it's looking like I am going to have to find another 3 or 4 more from those broken icicle things that I was trying to smash. So yeah, remember which side you've been in, which side you've been on, and remember which ones you've absolutely completely missed. Also, there's 23 of those ice things down there for you to find. Make sure you just get Edmund or Lucy to walk across them. But make sure you don't just stand there, because otherwise those will break and one of those 2 children will fall straight through it. So make sure you don't forget that. Right, also you can get Peter, Edmund or Susan to budge this ball across. And also over here will be a first aid kit for Lucy to use. And also you can get Susan or shall we say Lucy, for example, of Georgie Henley, to nudge that barrel over. And also don't forget with one of these little things right here, what I'm going to do is leave that on there again, which is what I did before. Right, so Susan, Pia and Lucy will have to stay there because Edmund will only have to move the barrel, because the other older children, Anne and William, the actors of Peter and Susan, are too heavy.
Come on, this way.
And Lucy as well. She's too slow. So that's why you can't use Lucy. And as you saw, those three children, Peter, Susan and Lucy, have just walked across it and made that log slip off the edge to stop you going back that way. Right, so what I'm going to do is leave that shield right there to remind myself, as well as remind you that you can always leave that until you know which ones of those broken icicle things you have to break before you reach a certain number, which will be 20. So that is the reason why I'm slowly just leaving that there until I reach the number 20. And remember which side of those icicle things I was supposed to break. Right, also you've got some smashing things to do, which will be Pia to do that with the stick, because Edmund will lose his. And also you've got some wolves, as well as you'll find some small midgets behind those things and lit those things up. And you wonder, how do you stop that from burning? Well, you want to get Susan and L1, keep the square button pushed a couple of times to throw snowballs at those fire flames but take them down. Also what you can do is get Susan or Edmund or Pia or Lucy, whichever, to break those, or break the bit of wood that's stopping the bits and pieces that just gets in the way. And also if you stand quite close to these and whack them, and when you hear a certain sound, which would be not that, hey sound, you want to keep your ears peeled on that. Right, next up, with these things that you have to find to get Pia and Susan's walk across, and also I'm going to have not much health left, so what I'm going to do is get Lucy to do the rest of it, and she's got more health than anybody else has. Also, if you've got a small bit, which is what you'll find, walk slowly with L3 and just push it gently. And also you can find some 10p pences. Oh, I thought those birds will fucking knock me off. Oh, Lucy's going to lose a bit of health. Right, as I said, with the health kit that Lucy will use, if she's quite far away from the others, some of the characters will not have their health all the way back up, but sometimes it will allow you to have their health all the way up. As you can see, Susan and Edmund hasn't got their health. Alright, don't forget, Peter will have his stick still, and push the circle once to break the ice sticks of wood. And what you can do is go all the way past them things and just get Peter to do the rest of it. And just wait until all the others catch up, which is what I'm going to have to do. And then you'll find yourself up against 20 wolves. Also you can find some bit of bark, or shall we say barrel, 2 barrels to be precise, and they'll give you some coins. Also, what you can do is leave the other children hurt if you want, especially ones that's got a bit more health and some characters a bit more stronger, to do some more force of punching and shit, which is Peter. He's one that's got more strength with a stick. Not Edmund though, because he hasn't got one. And so, there you go.
Lots and lots of lovely food. Well, lots and lots of...
Lou? Lucy!
Do something like this.
Yeah. You know.
Fawn Tumnus is hereby charged with high treason against Her Imperial Majesty, Jadis, Queen of Narnia, for comforting her enemies and fraternizing with humans. Signed, Morgrim, Captain of the Secret Police. Don't worry, Lou. We'll think of something.
Right. And once again, that level's been done. But it's got to be done again to finally get the rest of the shields. But we're not going to do that again this time, so don't worry about that. But also, the ranking, if you remember, on certain levels, they seem to give me good for some reason. But one definitely did give me excellent, which is good in a way. And of course, we did get 119 coins collected. As well as, we also did get 2 things to pay for from this level last time, which was for Peter and Edmund to have Lion's Lap or Leap or whatever it's called, but I'm going to spell it anyway. LEAP, and that is 100. As well as, once again, Edmund can have that as well with Peter. And also you've got Wolf Bone, or whatever BANE is spelled to be. As well as with the other one that's up above, that as well, which is Braveheart's All Children. Now, that one is basically for all of the children to have one of the health bars to be topped up for you to use to get a bit more health life. As well as when you pay for any of these things, whichever kind of one you want, some of them will allow you to not pay for each one every time. And what I mean by that is, if you pay for this one that is the Braveheart one, all you got to do is just push the X once, and then the 50 pence will come off your money bag. And basically, you don't have to pay for Susan's, Edmund's, and Lucy's. Doesn't matter whoever you use it on, it'll just pay for it automatically when you press the X. And it is 50 quid for that. As well as, once again, with the Peter's Wolf and Lion, or Lions, once you pay for any of these 2 that I've just read out, it will automatically go straight on to Edmund's as well. So it doesn't matter whoever you pay for, it will come off automatically, so you don't have to pay for it 2 times or push the X 2 times on each child to do the things it will do. And also, speaking of which, at the bottom of the screen with the X and the exit is with the triangle. I'm not going to be able to read all that stuff out, but you can have a good look at it at the same time while I'm explaining you a couple bits and pieces on the other children and bits and pieces. As well, stay quiet for a minute so you can read that one. And the wolf one, we'll have this one as well. And of course, don't forget, on my last recording, that I did pay 10 pence for Peter's thing, which was double damage. And on the last recording, of course, that I did get on the last level, which was the one I just did, was for absolutely for free. So I don't have to pay for fuck all. So you can pay for that anytime you want. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that's that level done. But it's not quite up to 100% yet because, yeah, I haven't got all the shields and bits and pieces yet. But most of those shields will be on those slopey things, and get whichever team you're linked up together on that thing. And just make sure they slide onto those things and smash them. Every single one. But not quite all of them at once because, well, you can't quite get them all at once. You have to do it a couple of times back and forwards into that level to get it done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go to this level, which is 2 west of the ERN, wood, whatever it spells to be. Once again, I'm going to spell it out. 2, the WESTERN, wood. And so this is what we're going to do, because we've done enough of that last level 2 times so far.
Bird just pissed us.
And now they're leaving the Fawn's house, which was Mr. Thomas. Don't forget, you've seen the film before. And now,
It's a beaver.
yeah, it's a beaver.
Here, boy. Here, boy.
I ain't gonna smell it if that's what you want. Lucy Pevensey.
And also, once again, have you seen the film before or you've seen the game before?
I think he gave it to Mr. Thomas.
Thomas. He got it to me just before I took him.
Is he alright?
Further in.
It'll give you some lovely cutscenes as well. How about that? Okay then. Right. This is the next level. Okay, so first, before we do any of this level, this time you'll have 29 shields to find in this level. 29 of them. Okay, so next then. What we want to do is probably get a lovely 10 pence from that. Then a couple of several other of those as well over it. And also, if you've seen a couple of these little things, and once again, we're going to leave those. And there's a specific reason for that. And of course, once again, as I said before, on the last level, on the last recording, when you find a stick, Peter will be the first one to have one. And if you find another, Edmund will have one. Okay, so once again, to switch your characters, just push the R1 button to whichever one you want. Right, now with the bits of nice furniture or something that's burning, what you have to do is, well, get Susan. Because don't forget, on the 3rd level, that Susan had to throw balls, didn't she? On some flappy things that allow the bats to bugger off. So yeah, so this is what you're going to have to do, is throw balls, but they are snowballs. Right, what you can do is just hold the L1 and keep pushing the square just a couple of times. Precisely 8 times. If also if you miss one or haven't hit them correctly, just make sure you keep throwing the snowballs for the fire to bug off, because if you don't, the whole furniture is going to burn again. But sometimes when you do that, you can get Susan to hit the snowballs and take the fire out of all of them, unless you're a little bit further away from them. That's the other easy way. But don't forget, Edmund and Peter and Susan can smash some things. Right, also when you break that, you'll find something for Susan now. Now, before we press the X button, now if you've seen the Narnia film, and if you remember it, that the Faun, Mr. Thomas, was using that and playing music, which is now what you can use on Susan. So Susan can play the music with using the tune, as well as you'll have to push certain letters like the triangle, X, square and triangle in the correct order to do certain things, which is make certain music tunes. Right, now I don't know why I freaking pushed the triangle button, but oh well. So that's how you can team those together, because don't forget, on level 2, that's what Edmund and Lucy could do. But as you proceed into the levels, you can do exactly the same sort of thing. Just keep doing the same thing. Right, also you'll find some more wood with snow. Also what you can do is ignore the wolves if you want, and just get Susan to throw snowballs and take the fire out. But make sure you do it quickly, because otherwise the fire will go back. Right, also you'll find some statues. But we're going to ignore those for the time being. There's a good specific reason for that. Also, once again, if you've seen the film before, you'll also find some more fires to put out from the furniture. Also, once again, if you've seen the film before, as I was going to say, that you know what those statues are for, or possibly how they don't move. And there's a bit of fun. Let's go back off the wolves. That belongs to the White Witch.
The path is blocked.
And the path is blocked, as he says.
Children, I'll have to clear us a path. Keep watch while I chew through the trees.
So, basically, he's going to get us through to somewhere. And we're going to have to back him. And what I mean by that is protect him while he does his job. Right, also in this level, you're going to have to stay behind certain things to stop the wind from knocking the health down of the children's health. And also, the reason why I'm not taking cover, and basically other things that you might have sussed out what I'm planning to do, or another way of saying it, that you're trying to tell me why you're being so stupid. But sometimes it's okay to be stupid, but not if it's something like you're going jet skiing and possibly jumping off a plane to do some parachuting. And other things that you can think about that is twice as stupid in life. That can take your whole life away from you. Certain things that I don't do. And the wind's always going to stop you. Right, also you can find some health kits and stuff from enemies. If you kill them, sometimes they'll give you some bit of health back.
Come this way.
And on the middle of the top screen there, you saw a bit of where the beaver's moving around to say you're almost at the other end. So keep an eye on that. And also, if you remember,
Watch out! Wolf!
There's another one.
you might have saw those things. So now, you've got some more of those to deal with. Right, also you can find some arrows. Or bow and arrows, shall we say. For Lucy to use, for Susan to use to take on your enemies. And once again, on level 3, on my last recording, that you had 50 balls to throw. So that means that you can only have 50 arrows to use. And as you can see on the left hand side of the screen there will be 38 precisely for me to use. Right, now, you wonder what do you do here? Well, as you can see, there's some things blocking my way. Right, once again, if you remember, throwing Lucy all over the place, you can get Susan and Edmund to do that. Do exactly the same here. Doesn't matter whoever you use. Push the triangle once when you're quite close together and press the square. And then when you do that a couple times, there'll be a bridge over there. Right, also what you can do is go in this little hole over here where you'll find a shield. So that's where you can find one out of 29. And what you want to do first is get Susan to fire a couple of arrows, approximately 4. There's a couple of them on the other side. But also what you want to do is be very, very careful. And the reason why is There's an enemy over there. And also don't forget, I showed you that before, was that if you don't team Susan and Lucy or Lucy and Edmund together, yeah, Lucy's going to say, give me a hand, will ya?
Hi, it's an ogre.
And the enemy, as he says, an ogre.
Susan, use your panpipes. They'll send the ogre to sleep. Be careful not to get too close.
And of course, as you heard him say, use your pan pods, which is part of the music, that Mr. Thomas did on Lucy. Don't forget that. Right, also what you don't want to do is get those people with their own arrows to hit that ogre. Make sure you don't get them to hit him. And the reason why? Well, because something's going to happen. As well as, if you've seen Shrek, the movie, or Shrek 2 or Shrek 3, which is Ed or somebody, whoever his name is, and he's green and he's an ogre. And that's exactly what he looks like. Right, but he's not green though, is he? Right, so first of all, do not, repeat not, go straight across. Because he's going to roar at you. So don't do that. Okay, so further ado. So that's one thing that you don't want to do. And that was the other reason. Also, what you don't want to do is stand too close. Or stand still for far too long. Because otherwise those small things will frickin' hit you. So just make sure that you just move a couple of inches, as well as let go of L1 when you're firing arrows or snowballs that Susan can use. Right, once again, drag Lucy.
Hi, it's an ogre.
And the ogre.
Susan, use your panpipes. They'll send the ogre to sleep. Be careful not to get too close.
Right. So now with your pan pods, right, what you want to do is stand about here and press the circle button. And you'll find a blue symbol somewhat over here. And press the X. Right. Now with this one, what you got to do is push the triangle, X, square, and circle. Just once. Doesn't matter if you're too slow or nothing, or too anxious. And what will happen next? Yeah, he's fallen on his backside. Right, don't forget the icicle things. Right, now what you want to do is do not stand too still, because otherwise, instant death. So don't do that. Right, you'll find a shield there. And another shield there for you to collect. And some rocks are going to fall over. And you'll find up fight up against some more wolves. I don't know why I'm doing that, but ow. Right, also what you want to do is get each one of these characters, or some of them, to stop the wolves from returning. They're just going to keep coming back. That was a miss. Right, also, there are certain gaps and bits and pieces will allow the wolves from coming somewhere. And also what you want to do is fire 3 arrows against them with L1 button pushed in. And of course, push the square. That's all you got to do. Push the square 3 times. What we want to do is go into this little hidey hole for Lucy to fill herself into the hole because she's very small. And push the square 3 times when you're quite close to the right angle for her to push some rocks down and block that off. Right. Next. What you can do is team up Edmund and Peter together, or Susan and Edmund together if you want. But as Susan's hurt a bit, I'm quite happy with just using Edmund. And then what you can do is push the square by here for the Peter to swing Edmund all over the place and smack a bit of rock or something to stop another wolf coming in. And then what you want to do is get your stick, light it up, and put it over it to burn some stick and stop the wolves from coming in. And also you have some time for you to hide away from the ogre. And also what you want to do is find the person to stand in the right place to hide. And once you've done all 4, he's going to go roaring. Right. Next then. With this little thing where Susan's standing, there's a specific thing in there. There's a specific thing right there. But I'm not going to go too far deep into that right now. But that's a secret for now. But if you know the game, you know what I'm on about. Right, now what I have picked up there is a powerful stick for Eben to use. Also you find some more arrows, another bow and arrow thing for Susan to use. Also you'll find some creatures climbing up the trees for you to fire up against. And basically, just use your stick and just kick the shit out of them. And there'll be a few of those coming up. They'll keep climbing up the tree. As long as you kick the shit out of them, then you're alright. Just kick the shit out of them. And also, as you can see on the middle of the screen at the top, there's the ogre. So once again, you're going to have to hide from him. But you can't do that. And the reason why is because you've got to kick the shit out of these. Without them kicking the shit out of you. And once you kick the shit out of most of these, that sound will pick up to say hide. And this time, Edmund and Lucy will hide together behind that one. And Peter and Susan will hide behind this side. He stomped off. And there it is. The level is complete with only 3 shields and 114 coins collected. And it's going to give us another. Well, it's given us very good this time. For some reason. Maybe it's all to do with good smacking things, maybe. And this time, we have got some more things available. Right. Okay, so first of all, you've got Team Attack for 50 quid, which is available for you to use when you've completed that level. Also, you'll have something for Susan. And, of course, something for Lucy as well, which is for 50, which is Wolf Tame. I'm pretty sure that's what TAME is spelled to be. But also, what this is going to do is allow you with the wolves. Oh yes, it is for Lucy to ride on the wolf. That's what that can do. Also, as I'm speaking of bits and pieces about this, you can read at the bottom where the X and the triangle sit in. So that's for 50 quid if you want it. You've also got for Edmund, which is going to be full with CIRCLE, and that's 100 quid. But what that is for is a nice thing for you to use when you join Edmund and Susan together. So when you link those two together, you'll do a specific thing. If you pay for it for 100 quid, and once again, full CIRCLE, what it spells to be. So each one of these two people, Susan and Edmund, once you pay for that thing, it will be paid straight away, and you don't have to go to each person to pay for it every time, so you don't have to do that. Right, also, once again, you've also got Team Attack, and of course this one is allow you when you join Peter and Susan together, that will do something for you as well, but that is 50 quid. Also the one in the middle, which is Stone Song, that is what Susan can do. Now that's the same sort of thing with the pan pods that the Beaver said about with the music. So this thing is going to do something, as you're probably wondering, or figured out what the stone words all about with the song right beside it. But once again, if you haven't played the game before and you haven't got a clue what on earth that is for, well, you're about to find out, because I'm going to pay for that and move on to the next level. And the next level is Beaver Den. So you're going to be in the Beaver's Den. So further ado, the next level, Beaver Den.
cup of Rosie Lee?
It's lovely.
Now it's merely a trifle, you know. Still plenty to do, ain't quite finished it yet. Yeah, look for business when it is, though. He's got me.
And now he's back again. And the ogre's now got the beaver. So that means we're going to have to save him. And also I have kept my controller off, so that was stupid. Right, so what you want to do is get Peter to pick up a stick. And now, with this level, we have got to find 4 shields. And, of course, don't forget, I have paid for Stone Song that Susan can now do, which I'll explain to you in a minute. Right, okay, so further ado, right, if you look closely where I'm standing, there is a stone there. There is a stone there. Now, as I have just said, with the Stone Song that I've paid for, now what that Stone Song will do will allow you to do something, which will allow you to find something. You're going to find something behind that stone. And as I said, Stone Song that I pay for. And what have you got to do? Play a song. So what you want to do is push the circle and you'll find a red tune. But also you've got some enemies that's going to stop you. So what you want to do, first of all, is go back over it for you to get a stick for Edmund to use as well, and possibly push the circle again while you're making these things back off. Oh, too slow. Right, so what you want to do is not be very fucking slow to exactly play the music. Right, also what you want to do is not fucking die. So when you die, you have to pick up the stick again. And also he's got his stick. Nah, too slow. Too slow. So what you want to do with the Stone Song is play it, basically. And the buttons you want to push is square, X, circle and X at the right time. And fucking quick. Right, now with that stone thing, it will unlock something for you to find. Now, I'll explain to you with that in a few minutes. Because what I'm going to do is get a stick for Edmund. And of course, what you want to do is kick the shit out of some of these as well. And kick the shit out of the ogre. And press the square and push the R1 to get Lucy to ride on the back of the ogre's back to make him throw the beaver up off him. And try and get Lucy off his fucking head. Now he's going to use his left hand to grab Lucy now. How rude. How rude. So now what you're going to have to do is save Lucy. Right, now what you want to do is get Peter involved. And quick. No, I'm not going to be able to do it quick enough. But also you can find some health kits. A whole full health kit for each person. Ah! Oh, fuck you then. Right, once again, we can do is get Lucy to give each person the health kit. And I've obviously got Peter fucking involved, stung again. So I'll have to do that again. So once again, is get Lucy grabbed hold of. And get Edmund to grab hold of him. And then get Peter involved again. And get Susan. And then you get a checkpoint. So you don't have to do the music tune ever again. And once you do, get that involved, dealt with, smash a statue. You'll find a statue involved for you to smack, which will be one of those. And now you're going to have to find 6 of those in this level. And what I'm going to do is leave the other 5 for now. And you're wondering, where are the 4 of those things? The 4 shields. You wonder, where on earth are they? Well, here you are fucking again. Excuse me. Right, you'll find 4 sets of top health bars. 2 on the right. And 2 on the left. Over this side. Okay, so don't worry about that. Right. So these statues right here, you can whack those. And that's the same sort of thing that you're going to have to find. Right, also next of all, I've already picked up 1 shield, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so now what you want to do is get Susan to fire arrows at some of the criminals that has their arrows. So we're going to hit a couple of those, which will be 2 of those criminals. And you want to fire 5 arrows until they say, "Hey!" again. And then you're all good. So once you've done that bit, get the big boys. To team up again. But what I mean is kick the shit out of the ogre. And then once you've done that, get Lucy to ride on top of the back of the ogre's head, which is what you're going to need to do. And what you got to do is try and get the other kids to move and avoid his stick. And avoid the other small criminals that likes to jump and bounce all over the place. As you can see, there's a couple of them jumping one way to another. Right, now, once you've done that bit on him, on the ogre again, this time, what are you going to do is stop the small midgets with their arrows. And this time, there are 4 of them in your bloody wipe. Oi, get off. Nope. So keep an eye on. Right, also with the criminals that they've got their own arrows. Some of them can be a bit tricky to see which ones you're attacking and if they're completely freaking dead. And Lucy is going to have to save Edmund's and Susan's arse again. As long as you hear the hey from the arrow criminals, then you're okay. And you don't have to fight them again. Excuse me. Are you down again? Almost. Almost down again, Susan, eh? There's the other one. So now I've just got to deal with the other criminal, which is the one with the bow and arrow as well. And he's dead. So once you've done the 4, go back to the ogre. I kick the shit out of him. And obviously, I've already hit 2 of the statues. Thank you. I'll have the first aid kit. Thank you. And I'll have you tied up together. And basically, as you can see me using Susan, Edmund, Peter and Edmund to kick the shit out of him. I've basically got to do it 4 times. And as you can see in the middle, his health bar is going down. And so now,
That was close.
he's down.
Yes. Thank you, children.
Isn't there anything we can do to help Tumnus?
They'll take them to the witch's house. You know what they say? There's few that go through them gates. They come out again.
Fish and chips. But is hope, dear? Lots of hope.
Oh, yeah, there's a right bit more than hope. Aslan is on the move.
Who's Aslan?
Well, he's only the king of the whole wood.
He's been away for a long while.
But he's back, and he's waiting for you at the stone table.
He's waiting for us.
There's a prophecy.
It has long been foretold that 2 sons of Adam and 2 daughters of Eve will defeat the White Witch and restore peace to Narnia.
I think you made a mistake. We're not heroes.
We're from Finchley.
But you can't just leave.
He's right. We have to help Mr. Tumnus.
I'm sorry. But it's time the 4 of us were getting home. Ed? Ed? I'm gonna kill him.
You may not have to. Has Edmund ever been to Narnia before?
No. No, he hasn't, has he? Or has he? Right. So there you go. 1 shield found. And 1 statue. That has been collected. Right. Now. Let's see. The ranking. And it says we have got very, very good. Or shall we say just very good? But yeah, that's what we want to see. Hey. Okay, so back to the statue now. There is 1. Right. On my last recording. That you have to collect certain things in the game. Yes. Statues. And shields. And the statues are for a specific thing for you to use in the entire game. For you to use. Now there's a specific number it can reach if you haven't played the game already before. But if you have played it, you know exactly how many there is. As well as if you haven't played the game for a very, very long while. And you check my recordings and bits and pieces that's been done and everything else. You think, oh yeah, I remember playing this. Oh yeah, let's have another go at this. Or either, and even if you're in your 12s or your 16s, and you think, oh yeah, I remember this film. I thought they never made a Narnia game. Let's have a crack at that. So yeah, there's something new for you. So there you go. One shield and one statue. And very good. Right, there's also something new available for Peter, Susan, and those are the only three. Right, so first of all, we'll start with a new one on Peter. Now, with this one that is at the bottom that's available, this is for you to use with Peter and Edmund. I'm just double checking if the name is spelt the same, which it looks like it does, which is Ghoul, well, it spells the B, as well as Bane, bone, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And also it is for 50 pence for you to pay for. And with the last one, for the other person that's left, which is Susan. Now you've got two things for you to pay for, and they're both 50 quid. And the first one is Hunk Speed, or whatever HAWK what it's spelled to be, as well as it's got speed. Right, so basically what this is going to do is allow you to make something speed up. Now, I can't remember from the top of my head, but it might allow you to have your arrows to be speeded up back very quickly. I'm pretty sure that's what that does. It tops your arrows to creep back up to a certain number, which will be 50. It will speed up much more quicker to go up when you've used a fair load of them. And I'm pretty sure it may be that for that one, because I'm also thinking of something else that does roughly the same sort of thing. Right, now this one at the bottom, which is another thing that goes to the music tune that you'll have to play, which will have another set of buttons for you to push, which will be roughly the same as the X, square, circle and triangle, in a different order for you to activate yourself to find some bonus shields. That's what that'll do, but we are going to ignore that for the time being. And as we have got just enough time and enough bit of recording left for me to use, what we'll do is go straight back into this one for me to find some of the other shields that has to be found in this level. So, once again, with the level I have just done, we will have to go back to that soon as well. And there's a specific reason why. Is because you need certain things to help you. So once again, with this level and a couple other ones, what I'm going to do is skip some of the cutscenes and some other bits and pieces that I have done, So, as I said, with bits of this level, you'll have to find certain shields in a certain way. And the only reason how is, well, keep replaying them. That's all you got to do. Which sucks in a way, but that's how it's got to be played. As well as remember where all the shields are, and the proper the way I will tell you is to destroy certain things for you to collect it, basically. So as I've explained a couple of things and bits and pieces on this level, what I'm going to do is skip a couple of little bits and pieces without saying the same thing, because you should know exactly what to do in this level. But also, I'm going to hope and pray that I don't have to keep doing the same bits over and over, which involves some bits that I have known where I've been to collect the shields from without fucking out, which is what you can do in this level. Right, also, it is in this section, and also with one shield in this section can be one of the shields that can be a bit more fucking tricky for you to collect. And it's these things you got to smash. And also what I've got to try and remember, if I've stuck myself on the right hand side of this or the left hand side, and it's right on this corner. Right, as I've done that bit, so now what you can do, if you've died, there's one, got one, so that's the one I missed. Okay, so we've got one, so we now know that it's the ones on the left.
Everybody okay?
So that's what you got to do.
The ice. Edmund, Lucy, one of you will have to find a safe path across the ice. Susan and I are too heavy. Hurry!
So that's what you got to remember, is remember which ones, or has it not even give it to me? I don't think it has given it to me. Because I remember that I had 16 to begin with. So that is the other thing that you're going to have to keep an eye on. Is make sure it fucking gives it to you. Because if it doesn't, then you're going to have to redo it. So you now know where one is. But like I said, with one of those shields or whichever ones you're missing, remember where they are, which ones you smashed, which ones you haven't. So far as I know, I remembered that that one that I was supposed to collect, but it didn't fucking give it to me, I know it's there. So the ones I've missed is obviously the ones on the left hand side. So it's pretty straightforward like that. You just have to remember where on earth those are and why it won't give it to you. So just don't forget that. It was annoying how it just didn't want to give it to me, but clearly it did. Can I have Edmund, please? Thank you. So yeah, you've got to always remember where those things are going to be. I only need 4 of them. Yeah, Edmund, get down. Right, so don't forget, Edmund and Susan can drag Lucy all over the place. So don't forget that as well. So that's the other thing to it. Oh, well, Lucy ain't going to do nothing with a stick, is she? Nuh-uh. Wrong person. So don't forget, Edmund, Susan and Peter, or whichever one of those 2 that's linked up to Edmund, they will swing him around to knock some rocks or tree trunks, like that kind of thing. But that bit that you just saw, where it just didn't want to give me 17 instead of 16 that I just did have. Now with those kind of things, you have to try and get them possibly in the right position to do that. So, further ado, let's just try and get this level done as quick as possible. But possibly I'm going to have to do this one again tomorrow, or possibly in a few hours. How the fuck have I missed that one again? Oh, now it's giving it to me. There we go. So, there's 17.
Is everybody okay? Mark, the avalanche is cracking the ice. Edmund, Lucy, one of you will have to find a safe path across the ice. Susan and I are too heavy. Hurry!
Right, so once again, 23 icicle things that you'll have to find that are steady without them collapsing, and only Edmund and Lucy can do the job. Excuse me. Also, don't forget the little hole and the barrel that Lucy can do. Are they still fucking whacking that stupid thing? Also, there's a statue up there where Lucy was. You can go and collect that if you want.
Come on, this way. Good job, Edmund.
So far as I know, where the statue, so far as I know, from where I know where the shields are, they're on the left side of the stone, that the icicle standing up things that I have to smash. And we've got 17, so let me see, as far as I can guess or count, that I'm going to have to find only 3 of them, which could take me a bit of time, but I should be able to find them. But what I'm going to do is pick this one up, so you know where it is, and you don't have to keep seeing me doing with that load of rubbish. So I'm sorry about that. There's a specific reason why that you have to keep doing it. Also, I'm going to get Peter to do the job, because this could take me some time from the recording, as well as a tea break or something. Right, so don't forget, these little small things will light these up. And also don't forget, you don't want to stand too close to the wolves, or either stand for far too long, while these small midgets, of whatever they are, that likes to chuck arrows, or fire arrows. Also, I don't want to be doing that again, so you can fuck off. Kicking the shit out of Susan. Right. So. Once again, with these dudes, whack them once to stop them moving, then they'll stay put. But if you don't want to, just ignore them. Alright, also when you're in this section, you'll have 28 of these things to find. To find the ones that are steady. For Peter and Susan to walk across. Oi, birds. Back off. Ow. Poor Edmund. Ugh. Now that will be to do with the dudes and their arrows. But they're too late to kill me. Right. So, circle once to break the icy stick of wood. And eventually, just basically, run away. And just wait for the others. And then finish these wolves off. Now that shield that I picked up, that was with the broken things, that one can be a tricky one to get hold of. Because as I say, you've got to be in the right angle.
Lots and lots of lovely food. And we'll have lots and lots of
Lovely, lots of love. Yeah. So once again, I'm going to skip all that bit because you've already seen it once. Then we've got 18. So I'm basically looking for 3 of them. And the ranking is going to say, look what you deserve. Good. Clearly. Obvious. And so there we go. Those are all those things that are available for me to pay for. But don't forget, I have paid for one thing. Stone Song. And so, I'm not going to pay for nothing else because I don't need it at the moment. And also, I'm going to save it right here. And hopefully, I won't have to do too much of backwards and forwards on this level. Because probably I know exactly where the shields are. And some other bits and pieces. But yeah, that is my recording done for today. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. But with back and forwards places and certain levels that's been done. Sorry about that, but that's the whole part into the game that's got to be done. But before we leave the recording, now, with this bottom drawer, which is basically about bonus levels that you can do, as well as find some cutscenes and bits and pieces, which we've got an actor, which is William, somebody that does Peter, somebody that is Anne, somebody that does Susan, and somebody that does Edmund, whoever he is, and Georgie Henley that is Lucy, that's actor. And now we have got bonus level that is available, which is of course to Western. I'm pretty sure that's what Western spelt to be. Pretty sure that's what the word is. I'm going to spell it anyway. Western, as well as wood. So yeah. Now with this draw, there are 3 bonus levels. But I could be wrong, there could be 4 in total. But yeah. Once again, that I might not be giving you exactly 100% walkthrough because we've got a few other bits and pieces to do. And I think that is where we are going to leave you for today. So yeah, that is it for today. Oh, and I've just pressed the X button to get into the level. So, what I will do is possibly show you it. This is the level, which looks to me that there's a couple of bits and pieces that has to be done. And this level should be a piece of piss for you to do, but we're going to leave that quiet for now. But that level is pretty much straightforward for you to do. As well as with this level, you'll only have 2 people to use, which is Peter. Sorry. Let's try this again. So now, once again, this level is only got 2 people to use, which is Edmund and Susan for you to use in this level. As well as in this level, bonus level, shall we say, you don't have to find no shields. You just got to complete it. So, once again, as I was going to say, that we are absolutely going to leave it here for today. And I hope you've enjoyed it so far with the second recording. And of course, do complete 2 other levels that hasn't got other bits and pieces that's done just yet. Exactly. And the reasons why was because you've got to do some bits and pieces on it before you could either get the total of statues and the total of the amount of shields that you can collect in the levels. So you got some levels will have a total of a certain amount of statues for you to find, and of course a certain amount of shields for you to find. But with the other three, you've only just got to find the amount of shields, which is 21 in this level, 5 in this one, 16 in this one, 21 of those shields in this level, and 10 stone, 15 stones in this level, and 6. But with the next level that's coming up, I'm going to keep that quiet for the time being. So yeah, that is it. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and I shall catch you on the next one sooner or later. Take care.